Hey guys, welcome to Art. It's Miss Baez here. Today we're going to be making a wreath. Now, does anyone know what a wreath is? You can pause the video and you can see if you can guess what it is. A wreath looks something like this. This wreath actually belonged to my great-grandmother, and this wreath is pretty cool. When you plug this wreath in, it changes colors. Let me show you. Look here, I plugged it in, and see how it's changing colors all around the outside? So now it's turning yellow on the edges. So it changes colors when plugged in. The edges of it change colors. Isn't that pretty cool? This wreath is really special to me, and I hang this wreath on my door every year. Today we're going to make a paper wreath that you could also hang up in your house if you would want to. To create your wreath today, you're going to need the paper wreath cutout, some green paper, red paper, a glue stick, and a pencil or something to write your name on it. So, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to write my name on it. So you can write it on the top corner or you could write it on the back. It's up to you. Just make sure that we can read it. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is just like we did with the project in the fall, I'm going to start to rip my paper into small pieces. These are going to be the leaves of my wreath, las hojas. I'm going to go ahead and rip a strip. And then I want to rip pieces about the size of my thumb. I'm going to start ripping some pieces. I don't need to rip the whole paper. I'm just going to rip one strip at a time. So I have one strip and now I'm going to start gluing. Okay? So once you have one strip torn up, you can go ahead and put glue. Now, do you think we should put glue on the whole wreath? Yes or no? ¿Qué tú piensas? If you said no, you are right. We don't want to put it on the whole wreath because our glue will dry up. Nuestra ega va a secar muy rápido. Entonces, I'm only going to put glue on just one part of my wreath. So I'm only going to do one part at a time. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this section right here. Okay, now I'm going to start taking my papers. I'm going to lay them on. And I'm going to press with my fingers to make sure they really stay on. Notice how I'm covering all my spaces. I'm also not just doing this, because when you just drop papers on there, they don't stick. When you turn it over, they fall right off. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more glue to do my next section. It's kind of like a puzzle, friends, un rompecabezas. You want to fill in all the pieces, but if you have pieces that go over the edge a little bit, that's okay. So I keep going down and keep adding to it. Okay? Now when I get down to this part, down here at the bottom, this is going to be the bow of my wreath. So I have two choices. I can cover it with green first and then put red over it later, or I can just leave this for now. So I'm just going to put pieces at the top here, but leave this bottom alone right now. Now I'm going to start at the top. I have a few more pieces and then I'm going to need to rip some more. Okay, so now I have this. Go ahead and start your own. And I'm going to be here working on mine. So I'm ripping another strip. Ripping my pieces about the size of my thumb. If I have a couple little pieces, that's okay. But make sure they're no smaller than your pinky. Okay? I'm going to keep putting more glue on and sticking my pieces on. More glue and stick the pieces. See how it's a pattern of what we're doing? Glue, put my pieces on, glue, put more pieces, glue, and then when I run out, I rip another strip, I tear it apart, and then I'm ready to glue again. Now if you see here, I have a hole. I'm going to just put a little bit more glue on top of this and put a piece on here because I don't want any holes in it. So I'm going to continue putting it down until I get the whole way around. Now, you see I have extra green paper. That's why I did not want to rip my whole paper. The rest of this paper here, I can put back in the art bin and someone else could use it for a different class. My little pieces here, I can see if someone at my table needs them, but if not, I could put them into my recycling bin. Now I'm going to take my red paper. There's two different ways I could do this. First, I'm going to create my bow. I'm going to create my bow by putting on my glue on top of the bow. And for these, I'm going to need to rip pieces that are a little bit smaller, okay? And then I start putting them on top of my bow. If you rip really big pieces, it's not going to fit inside of this space, and it's not going to look like a bow, friends. See how I'm ripping as I put down? This is another way you can do it as well. So I rip a thing, and I put it down. I want to fill in my spaces as much as I can. One more piece. When I'm done this, I'm ready to add some decorations. There's two different ways I could do that. A lot of wreaths have little berries on them, so I could rip small pieces here, like this, and I could glue them around it. I could also take a pair of scissors and I could cut shapes if I want them a little bit more. Now a berry does not have to be a perfect circle. It can be kind of any round shape you want to cut out, okay? I'm using that extra little piece and I cut out some berries. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue. Glue my first one, my second one. I'm going to take some of my extra paper here. I'm going to make 3 more. And see, they're not perfect. They have little rough edges on them, and that's okay. I'm going to put 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now I am done. If you want to continue adding more decorations on it, you can. If you would want to get some crayons or markers to add some other things on here, that's fine too. At the end of class today, when you have finished your wreath, you get to take this home with you. Tu puedes traer esto a tu casa hoy. And you can put this somewhere in your house as a decoration, or you could keep it in your room. It's really up to you. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed creating your wreath today. I hope it looks awesome and you did really well with tearing your paper. Have a wonderful day, guys.